All right, everybody, welcome back to the KSR YouTube channel. We're thrashing. We're cleaning up a little bit on Monday morning here to try and make things a little just nicer to work on. But Drew's back here about to get cranked into the vice grip garage Chevelle. Actually, he's already started. I see stuff hanging loose. So we're gonna try and take this sucker out of there and try one of my converters. Now, the more I've thought about this swap, the more I have a little bit of concern about my converter not even being close enough. Because all my stuff, while Soccer Mom makes 1500 horsepower, Soccer Mom does not make a lot of torque. And torque is kind of the biggest thing that will alter the stall speed of a torque converter. So I think that it'll be better than this, but this thing probably makes 1,000 foot-pounds of torque, maybe a little more. And on Soccer Mom, we have our converter stalled for, you know, it rolls over. Like I showed you the rollover on the Vice Grip Garage dyno video, where I looked at the data at the end, where we want this thing to roll over at, say, 4,500 RPM. We like Soccer Mom to roll over at 6,500 RPM. We shift Soccer Mom at 8,100. This is gonna shift at 6,700. So hopefully the converter's better. We're also gonna be in contact with Circle D to see if they can get us something in a hurry, but I doubt they'll get us something here before Wednesday. So our converter's going in for Wednesday, the test at the track. We're gonna rent the track on Wednesday at Gainesville. And then if we have to, maybe Circle D will have us another one that we'll swap Thursday or Friday. Race cars. Sometimes they're a struggle. They certainly make things very busy around here. Which, on that note, we got something to show you guys. All right, everybody, well, it has been a hot minute since we did any kind of merch plug, which I haven't even really talked about merch lately in any kind of videos, but we've got some merch. If you want some KSR merch, winwithksr.com, link somewhere around in here. Also, while you're here, please click the subscribe button. It's either in this corner or that corner. I don't remember which, but you can see it, little subscribe, little red thing. Click on it. But then also click the bell icon so you get notified whenever we release a new video. So that way you know when we release a new video. So back to the merch, we finally have come out with another new shirt, and it's something, here it is. It's something that I said one time and we thought, hey, that might make a funny shirt. Well, the funny thing is, which you'll see later in this video, we came up with this little saying, and then the race cars kind of made it very much come true in some ways and not true in some other ways. But anyways, so the shirt is, I don't know if you can read it there, but life is busy, but race cars are fun. Well, today, I think it's 11:30 right now at night. We were here this morning at 7 o'clock. We were here last night till 9 with some of the things you'll see in this video. But yeah, new shirt. And not only were the race cars not the most fun thing today, but they made life extremely busy. But then it turned into a really good day. So stay tuned for the video and watch the rest of it. And oh, we also have, almost forgot, we also have some KSR, what do you call these, beanies? Sock hats? I don't know, yeah. Whatever you guys call these things. We've got some, and they're on the website, winwithksr.com. So along with all our other stuff, you know, we've got our Everything Needs a Turbo hoodie, our regular KSR hoodies. I don't even know what's on there anymore. There's so much stuff. We also have stickers in the Life is Busy but Race Cars Are Fun thing. So go to the website, check out that stuff. We appreciate it. Helps us out here in the shop. And it's getting to the point where it's helping us focus more on doing more YouTube content, which is awesome. We appreciate all you guys out there watching. Stay tuned for the rest of the video. All right, well, now that you guys have seen our new shirt, let's get you back here and we'll do a time lapse with Drew snatching the converter out of this thing. little different because it's on the dyno, and we're gonna roll this puppy right back onto the rollers, see how the converter reacts. Whew. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do. And then hopefully later today, it's up on the lift on that side of the shop and we're swapping the front suspension, or at least starting to swap the front suspension. So let's get to work, see if we can get this thing done and back on the dyno by the end of this video. All right, so I figured I would do the time lapse here for Drew snatching the torque converter in and out of the old independent Chevelle. And as you'll see later in this video, things go sideways with multiple cars. And we end up having to put in all kinds of extra hours thrashing to get everything moving towards the direction of getting it ready to go to sick week. So lots and lots of work incoming. There's parts of things that don't get filmed very well as much as they should because the filming slows me down and we needed to get stuff done. So unfortunately, that's just the way things go for me sometimes. Things get super busy and I need to focus on the shop work to make sure we can wrap up the shop work to get the customers taken care of or to make a deadline. But I still think this video turned out pretty good, and there's a lot of crazy things that happen. That is kind of just the nature of the beast when it comes to getting ready for these big events sometimes. Alrighty, well Drew got the torque converter installed. You tighten all the bolts, Drew?
Most of them.
Most of them? Might have just saw his butt crack there. Maybe I'll edit that out, maybe I won't, I don't know.
Leave the butt crack.
All right, well, we're ready to try this new torque converter on the dyno. I'm actually just gonna try it on motor again because it should show me something there. You know, it'll be hopefully tighter acting right there. We've got to crank it up, check the fluid, do a little few things like that, back it back onto the dyno, get the dyno computer fired back up. But once we do all that, I should be able to see something by just running it on motor. And by just running it on motor, it's gonna help out with, like, I'm gonna base the tune now off of pump gas and then go back to adding fuel with the flex fuel sensor that we have installed now. So going backwards to go forwards, all that stuff. So let's dyno. Well, it felt like it was a little bit tighter backing it onto the dyno. Time to find out just how much tighter it is. We topped off the transmission fluid, so it should all be good to go here. I'm gonna plug in with my laptop, do some data logging, do some trimming, since I'm hoping it's tighter and we'll get a much larger sweep through the fuel table instead of it just jumping right up to, you know, 6,500 RPM like it did with both of the old converters. But we're on motor still, no blower, belt. Let's see what we can make happen. Good news is converter's better. Bad news is head gaskets are not. We were a little worried the head gaskets were hurt last week, so it's like we might be snatching the heads off this thing. Well, remember that whole life is busy but race cars are fun thing? Some days they're not very fun. We had some concerns that we had a hurt head gasket when Derek was here, because before he put the car in the trailer to send it down to us, he changed the oil. We checked the oil when we got here on the stick and it was a little milky, but we were thinking, maybe it's cold, it's been cranked up a few times. Maybe it's not leaking the head gasket, and it's leaking the head gasket. Now that we got the converter tight enough to load the motor a little bit harder, that was just on motor too. So we got a head gasket. It's been a minute since I put head gaskets in a big block, but I have the stuff here to do it. Thankfully, I keep, you know, some head gaskets in stock for different things since we build engines and stuff for people. But now Drew and I are gonna have a race to see who can get their side of the engine apart faster. I'm gonna do the side with the Pro Charger on it, and we're gonna get to cranking on this thing. And hopefully be back on the dyno again. The only thing I'm worried about is if I'm gonna have to skim the cylinder heads to deck them. So I've got a straight edge, and we're gonna check them real good and see if there's anywhere where the head gasket sealing surface is warped or something. Anyway, let's get to work. We got a lot to do. All right, so Drew and I are jumping off into the head gasket deal, and gonna tell you guys, this is where things go real sideways. So you might have seen the steam and the smoke when we were on the dyno, and we get the heads off of this thing, don't really see a huge problem. And while we have the heads off, I was spinning the short block over by hand, and things kind of felt tighter than I thought they should be. So called Derek, called Blueprint, and we decided to pull the engine out just to have them check it out to make sure that there wasn't anything wrong with it. A lot easier to fix now than if we actually hurt something, cost a whole lot more money and a whole lot more time to fix it. So I have a big block sitting in the corner that we decided to go ahead and build for the car, but that's just more work that we weren't expecting to do to get ready for Sick Week. All right, good morning everyone. Welcome back to the KSR YouTube channel. We're going testing today to get ready for Sick Week. This starts on Monday. So I'm in Sean's Chevy 2. We're gonna go make a couple of licks in it since we have changed the torque converter and put all the front end back on after we had it powder coated. So let's get to the track. Hopefully go make some good runs. I've got to make a few runs in Soccer Mom too. Try out all of her new combinations. It's gonna be a busy day, but hopefully we're back at the shop pretty soon. And we can get everything final prepped after we do that, and then head down to Bradenton to start Sick Week. So let's get to the racetrack. Well, we've made it to the racetrack. I actually have 7 or 8 or 9 other guys showing up to test. So we've got a nice little track rental going today. Hopefully all of us can get all the runs we need and get stuff figured out a little bit before we show up down to Bradenton. The guys in this Pontiac right here, they drove all the way from Canada. There's 3 of them in that car. Drove the car 3,200 miles from Canada. Just freaking awesome. I hear guy making a run right now. Oh, he's got no time on the board. So we'll see how all that goes. Time for me to go jump in Soccer Mom and make a run.
Well, we run it.
All right, so first pass, and I'll preface this by saying I'm actually making license runs today to get my NHRA license again. I had let it expire a while back. The tracks we were racing didn't really seem to care. I know I shouldn't have done that, but I did. But I'm gonna go ahead and re-up my license today. That's why we're out here at this track rental. And you have to make a series of runs that are progressively faster, with your last 2 being 9-second passes. Well, obviously Soccer Mom doesn't have a problem going that fast, so we're gonna use the passes to kind of, every pass we're gonna try to learn with the launch, but then the boost will just drop off after, I think the first pass I've got the boost dropping off at 1.5 seconds. We've got to figure out the bump because the gear has changed and we put our old tighter torque converter back in. So lots of stuff to figure out, but take you guys along for the ride. I'm not gonna have a ton of cameras today because not only am I working on my car and Sean's car, somewhere back there, yep, I'm helping some of these other guys out here with their data analysis and trying to help them where I can. So, all right, time for me to go make a run. Take you guys along for the ride. wait, what happened? We were just at the track, but we were supposed to be running Soccer Mom. Well, let me tell you a story about what happened with Soccer Mom. I don't have any video because apparently I didn't hit the button right when I was in my fire suit in my gloves, but we made 2 attempts. The first pass spun because I had a really aggressive boost ramp in it, and with the other gear and the other converter, it was just too much. So we changed the boost ramp for pass number 2, and I had the boost ramp shutting off at 1 second because I was trying to make license runs, and when you do license runs with the NHRA, only your last 2 passes of 6 passes are in the 9s. Well, obviously, since Soccer Mom has the ability to run in the 7s, we have to detune her a pretty good bit to make it run in the 9s or make it not run in the 9s. And since it was my second pass, what we did is we set the boost to shut off at 1 second. And typically, if Soccer Mom gets past 1 second into a run on a good pass, it's going to make it down the track. So on the second pass, it made it 0.8 of a second, and it blew the head gasket again. So I thought that it was the boost ramp shutting off, and so I drove it down the track and didn't know that it had actually blown off one of the radiator hoses, and I watered down the entire track for everybody that was there doing the test. So unfortunately, as you're about to see, things get real crazy. And we have a whole lot more work to do to get the cars ready for Sick Week. And we nearly gave up right here on Soccer Mom. But we decided to give it one more go and see what we could make happen. And stay tuned to see what happens. Well, as it turns out, that was not the boost ramp falling off. It was a head gasket, again, number 8, again. So as you can tell from the background, we're back at the shop. It's actually a couple hours later. I made some passes in Sean's car, actually wrapped up my license runs, tested out the new converter in it, which is definitely a whole lot better than the other one. Final pass on 25 pounds of boost went 780 at 176. I didn't film any of it because I was still pretty aggravated, even though I was out there having fun driving a race car. Race cars are fun, yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes race cars make life busy. And Will and Kimber are taking that one apart. I've got a few things to wrap up. Also, on getting Vice Grip Garage's car back on the dyno, another converter showed up today for it. So we're trying to get that in, roll it back across the dyno. We were waiting on a larger blower pulley from ProCharger to try and slow the blower down a little bit, because we really don't need all that power trying to rip the rear end out from under the car. But we still want to have the blower so it goes big mile an hour out the back door. But here we are at the shop, thrashing right before a race. Maybe we're stupid. Well, yeah, we're stupid. Yeah, Will says we're stupid. So if we do get Soccer Mom back together, we're gonna just do the event, change the coil on number 8, because obviously all new short block, new head studs, new block. We've got a cylinder head that's the same and a coil. We're grasping at straws, honestly. Like, the car's been together for hundreds of runs. Never had this kind of problem, but basically 3 attempts in a row, it's blown the head gasket out of number 8. Actually, it would have been, you saw the first pass spun today, but then the second pass blew the head gasket out inside of 60 foot. This stuff is sometimes a struggle, not gonna lie. Well, we're gonna get to work. Do a time lapse on old Will and Kimber pulling the motor out, or pulling the cylinder head off. See what we find. Hopefully the cylinder head's not torched. We got guys in the parking lot working on their Sick Week rides. Had a good turnout for the track rental, but I didn't video any of it. Sorry, I was mad. Didn't feel like being a camera guy. Didn't feel like being a YouTuber, but I'm back at it now, so maybe this video will make the internet, maybe it won't. Let's get to work. So I went ahead and time lapsed the guys pulling the cylinder head off of Soccer Mom. sped up the time lapse really fast just so this video wouldn't end up being 45 minutes long with all the other time lapses and everything that we got accomplished in this video. But Will and Kimber had the cylinder head off of Soccer Mom in about 35 minutes. And you can kind of see we popped the intake up, left everything hooked up, and then pulled the cylinder head off with the intake kind of in place. That was Kimber's idea. First time I've ever done that. And then we go to diagnosing and trying to look and see, you know, what potentially we think might have caused it. We kind of are leaning towards, you know, maybe a bad coil, possibly a bad plug wire. We don't know, but we're going to get the thing back on the dyno here, hopefully later. And then if everything survives there, we will take it to the racetrack and see what happens at the track. We got battery. Ooh, we have battery. Well, I didn't film much the last 24 hours, but we did get some sleep, and there's something running on the dyno. We're back in business, hopefully. So we're gonna just run this thing probably on 15 pounds of boost, see if it survives, and then head out for sick week. We almost gave up. If it blows up again, we're giving up. Started working on it, and we don't know what's going on if it does it again. So we put a new coil on number 8, we put a new spark plug wire on number 8, backed the tune down even more, took some extra timing out of number 8. We did everything we could think to do to try and not have it happen again. So here goes nothing. All right, well, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I did a pretty terrible job being a YouTuber today. We started the day off with Soccer Mom apart. We didn't have an engine in Vice Grip Garage's independent Chevelle. We had to fix a front crankshaft seal in Sean's Chevy 2. But as you can see, look around, we have an empty, well, except for those cars over there. But the main part of the shop is empty. We just put Vice Grip Garage's car, the independent Chevelle up on the trailer. I was on the dyno with it, didn't even video. The new engine worked out really well. Room for one more car in here. Well, we'll fix that next week. Actually, no, we won't, because I'm gonna be on sick week. So, busy day. It's 11:30. We're going home, and everything has made it to sick week, at least for tech-in and day one. That's a pretty big deal for us. Like, it was a huge thrash yesterday at the track, hurting Soccer Mom. We were done at that point. Came back here to work on Vice Grip Garage's car to get it wrapped up and then do the crankshaft seal on Sean's. Decided we were gonna go ahead and try to put a head gasket in it. So I did video Soccer Mom's dyno, which I know you already saw because you've made it to this part of the video. You already saw that part of the video. But yeah, big deal. I'm going home, going to bed. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for sick week content. We'll try to do a video every single day, which I'm hoping with the format that it's gonna work out pretty good. If you are in the area on Tuesday afternoon, evening, in the Gainesville area, participating in sick week, or you just live around here, come by the shop. There's gonna be some shenanigans. Probably, I mean, I don't know. If people might wanna do a burnout out in front of the shop, that's fine, that's cool. Do what you wanna do. But also gonna have our merch stuff set up. Might do pizzas if people wanna do pizzas, be a hangout. Probably after hours will be the best time to do that, like 5, 6 o'clock, after all the other businesses shut down, which is, we figure everybody will start rolling in after they do the drive, probably around, 5, 6, 7 o'clock. And then it's just Wednesday we race Gainesville, and then head on to South Georgia, and then down to Bradenton to finish it up. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys next time.